My name is Jack Storty, and I am an emerging leader on the Colorado Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Council.
And I'm Joe Tomey, and I am the director of Colorado's Division of Criminal Justice in the state's Department of Public Safety.
A reason for me, as one of the emerging leaders on the Juvenile Justice Council, to look at LGBTQ specific trainings was because I kept hearing the council speak about disproportionate minorities, and I noticed that LGBTQ populations weren't being discussed. And then I'd go to other councils that I also serve on, and they were all talking about LGBTQ population. And it seemed like the state of Colorado was trying to duplicate their work over and over and over again. And so I brought the information over to the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Council, and they got really excited, and they seemed to be interested in making a change, not only for themselves to be better providers, but also to create a better community for all of Colorado.
The council really focuses on ways that they can help at a macro level. They recognized how there are, as you said, Jack, so many young people based on their character or circumstances that are overrepresented in the system, and realized that they hadn't really been able to make any progress or even been thinking about this population. When Jack and other members of the Emerging Leaders Committee, which he represents today, came forward and said, this is a way you can make a profound difference in the way young people are treated with respect at a higher level in the state, and the issues are understood. The council recognized that as an obligation. The Emerging Leaders Group and Jack really helped them shape where they wanted to go, and they're incredibly satisfied to be making some level of assistance in this area across Colorado through this group.
I think that it was so important to have this project be youth-driven because so many things have changed in our society, from social media to the way people interact in person with each other, to just policies and procedures in school, to the acceptance and the amount of communication about sexual identity, gender identity. There's been a massive social change. And to have youth on board saying, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, this is a new perspective. It's just important to have a new look. I often encourage people to, think outside the box. What questions haven't we asked? Because it's so easy to get stuck with the same questions, looking for new answers, but how can you expect to get new answers from old questions?
The council looked at this in the context of, if we want to design programs that work and we turn to young people, youth-driven strategies to design those programs, shouldn't we be using a youth-driven strategy to also develop the overreaching strategy for moving forward? It's an issue of trust. When the old guard come in and say, this is what's important, or this is how we're going to proceed, those that are affected by it stand back and wonder if it's really in their best interest. When they understand that their peers, that folks that have walked the same path with great intent, great knowledge, and huge enthusiasm are the folks that shaped it, we understand that we're going to be making much greater progress in shaping better policy and practice. The council recognized that they wanted to do was empower and get out of the way and allow the emerging leaders to develop this, and it's been a great collaboration.
I hope that people get from these trainings, from the videos, the webinars, the technical assistant questions that will go with the videos, that people get continued support for LGBTQ issues that arise in treatment. So many people attend trainings and then they get energized and excited about all this new information, but then they don't know how to take it back to their staff, or they don't know how to implement it. So hopefully throughout these multiple different segments, they're able to actually engage with the information and engage with the new knowledge that they've gained to honestly create change. Not just say, well, I attended training, therefore I've made change. It's no, how have we used those trainings to implement the change?
And I know that the council also is hopeful that the toolkit, the webinars and the workbooks and the other training materials and the interaction will embolden folks to broaden their sense of advocacy for this population. So much is dependent on education, being able to understand how to help, and that's exactly what this toolkit will do. It allows those that participate in the training to have the skills, the understanding, and hopefully a little bit more compassion so that they're shaping their response to assist this population in a way they couldn't have just a few years ago. The work of this group comes out of the Council's Emerging Leaders Committee. The use of the term emerging leaders was developed a few years ago to describe the efforts of youth-guided energy in juvenile justice and delinquency prevention reform. The great irony is the term of the use of the word emerging when describing this group, when they really are the seminal leaders, when they really are pushing the envelope more than or equal to any other organization or committee or work group in the state, is phenomenal. To me, this is the work of our leaders, the council's leaders, to improve the state of Colorado. Personally, I'm stepping in front of you, sorry. I'm hopeful. We spend so much time spinning our wheels. There are some efforts that we've done in juvenile justice that for years we're making just little teeny steps towards our goals. The speed with which this initiative, this strategy, this toolkit, and this education is moving forward, my hope is that we're going to see a transformative way of thinking with this population in our state facilities, in private facilities, in community corrections and community juvenile justice programs right away. It's phenomenal.
Something that I'm really excited about after this project is complete and soaring out into the community is that change will actually be implemented. When someone says, hey, I need help learning about this, instead of developing a program, the program's already there. We can stop spinning our wheels and we can actually take steps forward.